Welcome to Step Up with DL Walker. At any time during our live vidcast premiere, you can ask questions of myself or our guests by typing your question in the box called Top Chat, located in the right-hand corner of your screen. If you're watching a recording and have a question, just type your questions in the comments box below, and we'll be sure to respond. At any time, check out the information box because it contains contact information and special offers from DL and our guests. That's located underneath this video. Enjoy the vidcast, and if you find this information helpful, please give it a like and share it with anyone whom you feel may benefit. Thanks so much for watching, stepping up for your health, and please do be in touch. PJ Ashley spent over 25 years working in and around defense, including being an executive in the corporate world, dealing with large multi-million-dollar government and defense contracts. It was during her busy corporate days that PJ saw the effects of sustained stress dramatically affecting the health of the workplace and also the mental and physical health of individuals. Determined to create positive change, PJ started to realign to what truly sparked joy in her life and her original passion, the art of healing. PJ has since developed and delivered a brand new healing modality, the Pillar Code. And this started a journey of healing, teaching, and communicating this information around the world. PJ has written her first of many books to come, It's About Time by George, which is filled with amazing and life-changing guidance. The Pillar Code, her signature program, has been gifted to help create positive change around the world. And PJ loves nothing more than combining her business knowledge with her passion for healing and create a positive change for leaders, teams, and business, with the results being increased joy, decreased stress, and increased revenue. Who wouldn't want to choose these changes? So, welcome, PJ. And PJ, I'm so excited that you're here because I actually went through your Pillar Code, and it helped me tremendously in so many different ways, and it really resonated with me. But there are a lot of people here who aren't aware of the Pillar Code. So would you go ahead and explain what it is?
Sure. Yeah, it's beautiful to be here. So the Pillar Code is the name of our organization, and it's also the name of this beautiful modality we're now recognized in 27 countries around the world, including the US. And it's this beautiful modality that has actually been gifted to me through this basically universal information. And it's there to help people literally step up in their life. And we speak about there being 12 stepping stones. And so this modality is looking at what's holding you back from the past and how to let it go. Where are you actually in your now? Where are you focused? Where's your aim? Where's your direction? Really, what's the strategy in your life? And what's affecting you from your past that we need to clear. And then once we've done the 2/3 of the work, the best part of the work is then, well, where would you like to go? What's your choosing? What's your manifestation? What's your goal? And that's within every pillar of the journey. And so the Pillar Code is about helping people be more, knowing that there's more, but they just can't get to it. They can't access it. It can help mental health. It can help lifestyles. It can help businesses, bodies. So we call it literally transforming lives, minds, bodies, and businesses.
Awesome. And it has honestly transformed my life. I must share that. And if you'd like to go into it a little bit more, I'll explain.
Yeah.
I think that over time, we've really complicated things in our world, and particularly when it comes to mental and physical health. I know, now when I'm working with people, they're amazed that I can work with them in only like 1 or 2 visits, where traditional physical therapy is, 3 times a week for 3 months and that kind of thing. But it's really doesn't have to be that complicated. And I found that with the Pillar Code as well. When you think of traditional coaching or therapy, a lot of it is, going back to your past and rehashing things and maybe getting an understanding. But I have to say that with the coding from the Pillar Code, it all happens just so quickly and easily. And what resonated with me in particular is that when you go through the pillar code, and I encourage people to look into this, is that I was told the ages when these certain things happened, or these blocks started occurring.
Yeah.
And it was fascinated, the correlation. I could definitely correlate an event or events that happened around that period of time that would have led to belief strategies or things going on mentally that, would cause challenges in the future. So did you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I'd love to. So the pillar code really gets in a very, very unintrusive way.
Mm-hmm.
It literally unshackles people from either a conscious state past, a subconscious state past, or an unconscious situation that's going on. So we have these different layers where we're shackled into these beliefs, these situations, this lack, this doubt, this betrayal, this fear. There's all sorts of things that can literally hold us back. And the ones we're conscious of, where we generally can do a little bit about. The ones we're subconscious of, they're really annoying, and they'll show up in life as in issues that are going on in your life, but you just don't know why they keep repeating. And the unconscious ones are the things that are going on that are really traumatizing in your life, but you actually think that's normal, and you just don't even realize that there's a way out of it. So with the pillar code, it's this beautiful coding system. So you go through the practitioner personally, one-on-one. There's no group thing, and it's just a very, very private session, just like you would go into a clinic, but it's mainly online. And every single pillar has this coding around it, and it helps that person. As an example, the very first pillar is pillar 1, the pillar of peace. And when you're in your peace, you can then lift your belief and manifest. But when you've got one of these unconscious shackles around you, you're not in peace, you're actually in stress, chaos, turmoil. And instead of manifesting beautiful things in your life, you're actually manifesting the opposite. You're manifesting more things to bring stress in without even realizing it, where it's coming from.
Right.
And then you can turn that into a belief rather than a doubt, and you lift your belief. So you're sitting in peace, beautifully manifesting, and in your belief with it, and you unshackle the stress, the negative manifestation, and the doubt with it. And we can very, very quickly, in a matter of seconds, code for a client what's going on, where it was, why it happened, at what age it started at, and then understand what it's affecting how it's affecting that person in the here and the now, without having to go into their personal details.
Right.
Without having to do anything.
Yeah.
And you can say to the person, I've got this emotion of shame. It's coming internally. It's happened from when you were 17. It's really putting stress in your life. You're constantly bringing negative, males into your life. You don't even believe you can have a beautiful relationship. Does this make sense to you? And they'll go, oh my God, yes. You don't even need to invade that space. And we work on this belief. You reveal it to heal it. As soon as it's revealed up into the conscious state, it's then able to be cleared and sorted. And it keeps the privacy for the person. If they want to share, they can, but there's no requirement. And then that person literally unshackles from that and starts stepping up these beautiful pillars. And it goes around. The results are magical. People say all the time, it doesn't I really enjoy the appointments, but it's not until weeks after, months after, I go, my entire life just changed. Yes, because you're literally unshackling this past, understanding what's doing to the now, and then you can actually react it into your future and choose.
And you bring up a good point, because much like my work is that, it continues to work. It continues to benefit you once you have that unshackling, or that releasing, and then it can take a little bit of time for things to for you to notice. But again, the feeling for me after doing a session was usually I was very peaceful. That's there was no turmoil, and again, I'd gone through some psychotherapy as well, and sometimes you feel crappy.
Yeah. Why have you got to feel worse before you can get better? No, No.
Exactly.
Get the message and get the hell out of that situation. Lift yourself up.
Yeah. In fact, my therapist actually said that. It's like, it was bad enough that you went through this once, but do you have to go through it again? And that is, again, what I really enjoyed about the process, is because it was not in any way, like you said, intrusive or where you had to relive anything. It was more just an acknowledgement or an affirmation. Yes, a yes or a no about the situation. And that's when I knew that it was legitimate. Really, when those ahas came about, where the practitioner was able to associate ages to the pillars that we happen to be working on. And there are 9 pillars. So the process is 9 weeks, maybe it's more than that. Tell us about the process.
Yeah, so the process is 12, it's 12 steps, and it includes 9 pillars, but there's 3 platforms included in that. So the first platform is your starting point. We call that prep. That's your preparation. And we get from the client, we ask every single thing that's going wrong in your life, your mind, your body, and if it's the corporate side, that's a different program, or your business, because we take businesses. And we get this big list. We want to know everything that's going on, including your finances, your sleep, your diet, your body age, your mental health, your relationships. There's a whole list with it. And so that becomes the starting point, and that's the litmus test about where we're going. We use that as the benchmark, because we don't care about how people say they are, or what we say about the program. We look at results, and we've got a whole research department around this on the results that have come from the program. So we start with that big list, and then the practitioner takes you through from that. That's a big appointment in itself of an hour, and then you go through 2 lots of 30-minute appointments for each pillar. So you go through pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3, pillar 4, and then you get that list back out again. You come to that platform. It's like coming up a staircase. You come to the platform halfway there. We get that list out and we go, right, now you tell us how you are. And we get you to grade it from, slight improvement, moderate, significant, or completely cleared, which is what we're aiming for. And then the list just narrows and shrinks. And so you then start really targeting on really what you're there for. And the second half of the program starts in pillar 5, and you've got rid of all this rubbish and stuff in your life. It's just quite magical. And the second half of the pillars, the practitioners really know why you're there, really understand why the soul has sent you there, to get really purpose or clarity or value, relationships and so on. Then you go through pillars 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you get to another platform. And then you bring that original list back out again and go, now tell us about that list. And people just go, tear it up. It's amazing. And then we'll come down to nuggets. You'll still have nuggets of things to sort, absolutely, because you've completely changed. And so they're the 12 steps. There's the platform, pillars 1 to 4, another platform, pillars 5 to 9, another platform. And then there's a couple of little appointments thrown in to have a bit of fun with them. So that's the program. So we basically say you could really just turn your life around in 12 weeks. And people do, and we've got an entire research area that has pulled all of our research together for us, run by scientists who pulled it together, and the research is really quite astounding, and we're very, very proud of it. So we're just in the process of really launching. It's 50 case studies that we've put through with this research, and soon, within a few months, we'll be up to the 100 in the case studies, which is really quite significant when you're looking at the type of valuations that we have done, the research that we've got. So we're really looking at putting our money where our mouth is. These are the results.
Yeah, and definitely we'll provide that link when it's when it's available, or whatever's available right now. It'll be in the comments box below for you to take a look at. And so there's really no aspect of your life that's off limits here, which is kind of amazing also.
It has to be holistic, because if you sort just on the mind, the mind is putting messages in through to the body, the soul's putting messages in through to the body. If you just solve the body, you're cutting off the messages from the mind or the soul, and they'll just start screaming at you even more. So you need to actually have a look at the trilogy of all at the one time. You must do it. The key is you do it at the one time. The mind, the body, and the soul component of that one pillar at the one time. So there's no need for those messages to be screaming out in your life.
Sure.
And you stabilize it, and there's a way we can stabilize it for people. And every pillar has a tool or as an exercise, because we believe in resilience, not reliance.
Right. Absolutely. And the other thing too is that you keep your recordings, so you can always go back and listen to them again, and reinforce or reiterate. And sometimes when you see things a second time, they tend to make a little bit more sense. And so so that's the pillar code, but then there's more stuff that you do. So yeah, I mean, okay, so there's a Facebook group called Channel to Consciousness, and I love that. I a lot of times will scroll back, because you've been doing it now for how many years? The Facebook
probably
Lives?
6 or 7 years.
Okay, so there's 6 or 7 years worth of information, really special information that just makes heaps of sense to me. And so it's resonated with me for years now. In fact, I actually transcribed word for word one of your channel. Yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh, it was so profound, really. So yeah. I don't know. I guess I didn't realize I could save it on Facebook at the time.
Well, with everything going on, we've made sure that we download and we we're keeping a safe space, all of this information. And so for people to be aware, basically I was in a really busy corporate world in 2012, and then my life just dramatically changed on the 24th of January 2012. And I was just received this just incredible download of information, and just said the world is about to change. The world is going to be woken up, and there's going to be a lot of trauma and stress coming into the world from this point forward. 2012, I had no idea what they were talking about, and I thought, oh, there might be a few earthquakes or something. Gosh, when you look in 2021 now and see what's going on. And they basically said the pillar code is there to help people journey up that staircase. And literally, it's like this beautiful staircase to get them out of the stress, get them out of the mud that's going to play out as the truth is revealed. So it's it's like this beautiful acknowledgement of information, but this information is constantly uploaded. It's always updated, new information, to the point now that we train practitioners in what we do. So one of the main aims of my company now is we train practitioners to deliver the pillar code, because it's a succinct training program. We've got a university now. We call it our online university, and it's really cute. And so we've got a huge amount of programs and courses and things all on the university, because it's really important. People need to be safe. People need to know that they can really help their own life and just lift up out of all this stress and chaos that's going on. Because
ultimately, from what I'm understanding from speaking with many people and doing a lot of reading on this, is that we're in charge of our future. It's up to us to determine what we want as a conscious collective. And I think that is where a lot of individuals like yourself who have special messages like this are really, everybody's goal is, I think, the same thing, is to really give the power back to the people. And that's what I'm trying to do physically, for individuals as well, is that we all, it's like that with like the Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy was going back to Kansas. Is like, you've always had that power, you just didn't know it. And so relearning or getting a clarity on what our purpose is in this lifetime, I think is just going to help everyone in a lot of ways. And then certainly having peace is really challenging right now. I mean, even within families, amongst friends, those kinds of things. I mean, it's so
peace is not, you know,
It's
it's
polarizing.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it really is. And yeah, it's something that I think I know, speak from personally, um, you know, have had some challenges with it as well. And I'm a very kind of neutral person. So
Mm.
you know, I try to understand and be compassionate to everyone's, you know, everyone's opinion. But the backlash that I've gotten, it has been really astounding, actually. I never thought that, you know, the things that I thought were freedoms or rights or whatever, you know, would be, you know,
Taken away.
well, yeah, taken away. And
We
yeah,
actually we don't have free speech.
yeah,
Certainly in the country I stand in, we certainly don't have free speech at all. And so there's this innate you know, anxiety within the
yes,
world. People know something's going on, and it doesn't matter which way your beliefs are, and I won't mention
sure,
any of the stuff that we're enforced to do, but depending on what your beliefs are, it doesn't matter. What's happening is there's a polarization, and that's dangerous.
yeah,
That's the thing that is really is the destruction. If evil had a tool, it's separation. That's the
mm,
only tool that evil and darkness has. And so when you can actually say we can come together, we can have the same views, and when you actually come together and where you're heading to, you know, the pillar 1 of peace, pillar 2 is love, pillar 3 is connection. You know, I keep saying if everyone on the planet did pillars 1, 2, and 3, we would be in a completely different place. And the anxiety and the turmoil that's coming up with people is just ridiculous. And so people are feeling this sense of what's going on, and so they're picking a side or picking a view, which is exactly what we shouldn't be doing.
mhm,
It's just, you know, coming together. We are community, and we need to know our rights. We need to know we're free speech. We need to know our governments are actually here to update our rights and not tell us about our health. And governments have never been allowed to tell us about our health. But, you know, this is why it's just so important for people to educate themselves and bring it back to basics, which was what, you know, we're
yeah,
going to mention. So bring everything back to basics, and you'll start to really understand you are in control, and you cannot give your power or your health or your information over to anybody else. Research yourself and get yourself back to basics.
right. And why don't we end very quickly, because you are known for your acronyms, and back to basics is one of them, and it's one of my favorites. So when why don't you share with us what back to basics really means?
So we're going to do a little coding. So this
Okay.
is just trust the process. You might try and think about what is going on, but the very first thing I want you to do is I'd like you to write down a number from 1 to 6, and then write that down. I'd like you to think of a second number, a different number from 1 to 6.
Okay.
All right. So you've got 2 numbers here. All right. 2 numbers from 1 to 6. And all you do is write it down, pen down. And you'll be sitting and guessing and working out what's going on. But I just say trust the process. So back to basics is an acronym to say you need to really get back to the basics of life. B is your breath. A is to activate. Going into the S is to sustain, beautiful, organic, you know, good food. I is inspire. C is connect. Connect in with your higher self, connecting with loved ones, your tribe. And then S, rest, sleep. So basics is breathe, activate, sustain, inspire, connect, and sleep. Now, what you just coded then, what I asked you for, that first number you wrote down, that was actually coding linked into those numbers, and that's where you've got some strengths at. The second number I asked you to write down is the number where you may have some vulnerabilities with. So I'm going to say the numbers as they come through. So have a look at the 2 numbers you wrote. So the first number is number 1, breathe. It's either your strength, you know it, you understand the importance of it. You may not do it as well as you'd like, but you actually understand how the breath works, and it reduces anxiety and so on. If you got that as your second number, You really need to do more work on the breath. You need to understand it. You need to have a really good understanding of where your diaphragm is, your anxiety, and so on. 2 is activate. So it's action, it's exercise. So was it your good mark or was it your weakest mark? 3 is inspire. Inspire, look at positive people, get inspired all the time, be around positive people, uplifting people. They don't have to be happy all the time, but inspiring, and really make sure you're reading, you're absorbing yourself with inspiration. Are you really good at that? Was it your first number 3, or you haven't done enough of that? You need more
And
of it.
if you didn't do enough of it, that's your second number. So go on.
That's your
Okay,
second number.
we're coming up to my second number. Go ahead.
Or with inspire, you might just be around a lot of negativity all the time, researching or doing random negativity. Stop it and start getting inspiration if it was your second number.
Okay.
Then 5 is linked to the word connect. So if 5 is your first number, you're really good at connecting with people. It's good to connect. But if 5 is your second number, you're not connecting enough. It may be a really good skill and you're not doing it enough. And I'll come back to this in a second. So connect more with the higher self, connect more with those around you. And then number 6 is the sleep. Sleep, of course, is so vital, so important. Know where you're up to, know what's happening, make sure you get the right amount of sleep, right temperature, and really get your sleep sorted so you can be really either good at that and sustaining you, or it's not going so well. Now, so the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, breathe, activate, sustain, inspire, connect, and sleep.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a weakness and a vulnerability and you're wondering, hang on, why is that my weakness or my vulnerability? It could be an absolute strength of yours that you're not using.
Huh?
So I say, like, look at an opera singer who's got a beautiful, beautiful voice, but if she gets laryngitis and then they can't speak, that's really bad. That's a whole career. That's really, really bad. So they've gone from that's their pillar of strength, gone to their total contrast. Whereas me, I'm a communicator, but someone who doesn't communicate or sing and they get some laryngitis, the world's not going to worry about it for a couple of weeks because it's not their strength. Okay. So when you fall short of your absolute strength, it could be an amazing strength, but you're not using it. You've been stopped. You've been blocked from actually expressing it. All right, so that's the coding. Back is balance all of that, connect knowingly.
That's beautiful.
Did that make sense to you?
It did. Actually, yeah, my strength was sleep, which is pretty cool. As it hasn't been, but I have been sleeping really well lately. And my weakness was number 4, which was inspire, I believe. Inspire. Yep. So yeah, I'm thinking about that a little bit more. I have not, yeah.
So connect into inspiration, be around it more, make sure you inspire every day. Start your morning every day with your own dreams, with your own goals. Listen to various different people. Really, really shift it up a bit who you're listening to, and then you'll be the one to actually inspire in the positive. So it goes 2 ways.
Yeah. I don't think that I've been inspiring enough myself to others. Yeah, interesting. Well, that's as simple as it is, guys. So if it resonates, if it makes sense, I would really encourage you all to click the links below, check out the pillar code, check out the university. I'm going to be looking for that as well, because I've done several of PJ's special courses, and so I'm fairly familiar with this. It doesn't take much to get it, but again, the coding can be a little bit, it has a little bit of a learning curve, but it's relatively simple compared to so many other things. And again, thank you for introducing us to it, PJ.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And just to clarify what I just did then, like that's some extra bit of fun. It's not really, the appointments go,
oh yes,
really, really into it, and the practitioners actually go through a proper structured process. I just thought I'd give that to you today. A bit of fun, and all of the coding is about you getting your own information from that.
Yes, as well. And even when we do the when we go through the pillar code, I don't believe that we actually choose numbers.
No.
No. So everything that's more of, something more for a group like this situation versus one-on-one. One-on-one, it's again, way deeper. And I believe my pillar practitioner, Sally Estlin, offers a free session. So I'll go ahead and put her link in too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And check with her if, is that something that all of the
all practitioners.
Okay,
all
great. So
yeah,
so there's another reason, guys, if it's something that sounds interesting to you, or something, it's worth a shot, and you have nothing to lose. So PJ, thank you so much for your time and your coding.
Fun, DL.
And your energy. It was great to connect.
It has been, and it's really, really important that everybody, knows that they can be in their peace. They can be in this beautiful world. We are moving to some really, really amazing times, really positive times, but we've just got to hold and ride the wave as it's happening.
Yeah, I think these are the growing pains, right?
Yep.
All right. Thank you again, PJ.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Step Up with DL Walker. For any information about our guest, it'll be found in the comments box below this video. For more information on how you can recover from injury, restore vitality, and gain resilience from disease and trauma, all in the comfort of your home, click the link on the screen. Until next time, take good care of your body, mind, and spirit. It's the only true home that you really have.